Sometimes you need to know the right things to say, especially when you are in an awkward situation. So today's lesson is going to deal about one such awkward situation we all face, and we probably have all faced, which are the things that we say to someone when they are crying. Now, this is a very sticky situation. You probably feel at a loss of words. But instead of just saying it's okay, today I'm going to show you some really good phrases to ensure that the other person feels good. So, what are those phrases? The first phrase is more of a question where you can say, is there anything I can do to help? So this is what I call a very helpful gesture where you are offering to help, right? Because sometimes the person who's crying doesn't know what to do and you are offering to help. But then there are some people who like to offer solutions. I'm one of them. So if you are like me, if you want to offer solutions, you can say, I had a similar experience once. So maybe the person who is crying, you've been through that, okay? So you had a similar experience, and then you tell them, but this is how I got over it. So you are the one offering solutions. And I think it's a great sentence to say because the person gets to know what to do, which is really nice. But then there are some people who would rather just be more empathetic and say something like, I'm here to listen if you need me. Well, let me tell you, when people are crying, sometimes they're not able to receive a lot of expert advice. They would rather you just listen to them. In that case, the good thing, the best thing to say is, I'm here to listen to you if you need me, which I'm sure they do. Sometimes it's also good to reassure them. Reassure them means give them confidence that their situation is temporary, in which case you will say, it's just a passing phase. And it's true, right? When we go through a difficult time, it's good to know that what we're going through is just a passing phase, only temporary. And then there are some times where you can say, you have every right to feel that way. It's okay to be sad. Now, guess what? A lot of people sometimes feel that they're kind of stupid to cry. They feel silly crying. But it's good to validate their feeling by saying, don't worry, you have every right. You have the right justification to feel that way, and it's okay that you're sad. Everyone goes through that. Okay? A nice way to tell them to calm down. Sometimes you've got to ask them to vent. Okay? So venting feelings is basically letting it all out. So in that case, you will tell them, let it all out. You'll be very happy that you did. And believe me, when you vent out your feelings, when you let all your feelings out, you are actually happy that you actually gave yourself the outlet to put it all out there. Like I said, you have to be empathetic, but you have to also be encouraging. So for those people who want to motivate and encourage, I would suggest you can use this phrase by saying, it gets better, I promise. You know, there are people who want to believe that things can get better, that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And when you want to be encouraging, this is a phrase you must use. Now, when you're crying, when most people are crying, they believe that they're very weak because they are going through a difficult situation. Don't you think you should tell them that they're strong? Don't you think that as somebody who wants to motivate, shouldn't you tell them that they can actually do much better than what they are doing right now? Well, if you are one of those people, you should tell them, you're stronger than you realize. I know you'll get through this. Okay, so remind people that they are much better. Remind people that they are stronger. Remind people that they can do more than they are currently doing. Now, sometimes people need to know that you are there for them. So what could you say? Call me if you need anything. If you need anything else, I'll always be here to listen. Okay, a nice way to tell people to get in touch, to keep in touch because they need it. Now, you could also say, okay, now let's get you all cleaned up. Okay, so when you're crying, what's going to happen? The buggers come out of your nose, your face is all, is all messed up, your makeup's probably running over, so you want to basically tell someone, hey, don't worry, let's get you all cleaned up now, yeah? And then we'll get you up and running. All right, the next one you could use, the next phrase you could use is, that was really tough. You're so strong. Believe me, there are some people who go through a lot of situations which are really tough, and you want to tell them that, you know what, you're a strong person because whatever you went through was really a tough situation. Of course, sometimes the situation is not really big, and you want to tell people that, look, you're crying over something which is easily, it can be you can overcome what you're going through. In which case you can say, it's not a big deal, it happens. Okay, so this is used when a situation may not be so serious. Okay, so when you think a situation is not so serious, you can use this. Or you can do the reverse. You can tell people, hey, you know what? It could have been much worse. You are lucky. So let's say you got into an accident with a minor scratch and you're crying. Well, the situation could have been worse. You could have gotten into a fatal accident, in which case you can tell the person, hey, don't cry. It could have been worse. You are actually lucky. Okay, they'll feel a little better. Sometimes people are a little immature, and when they're crying, it's okay to say, hey, this is silly. Crying won't solve anything. Now again, I don't recommend you use this all the time, except when the person is being a little immature and crying over something really, really small. Okay, so if that's the case, you can use this particular phrase. So these were the phrases that can help you speak to somebody in an awkward situation where they're crying. But I'm telling you, if you use these phrases, not only your English is going to get better, but you are going to be a person who is going to help people and motivate people and encourage people. And a good English speaker is someone who does all of these. So I would suggest you use all these phrases and use your English in the best possible way. I'll be back with some new lessons. Until then, make sure you keep practicing, you keep learning. Take care. Bye.